What's going on, guys? I've got what I think is going to be a pretty fun, interesting video for you guys today. So about a month ago, someone reached out to me from a company called Divoom, D-I-V-O-O-M, and they asked me if I would like to take a look at one of their new Bluetooth speakers. Now, normally Bluetooth speakers aren't super interesting, but this one has a unique feature, a selling point, if you will, that I think is actually really interesting. Basically, this Bluetooth speaker, this thing actually has a fully customizable screen on the front of it. If you look at their website here, this is what we're talking about, the Timebox Evo. And they talk about how it can play your music, you can show images on it in this sort of pixel art style, notifications, tools and games, LED editor, weather, messenger, all sorts of really interesting features that you can actually accomplish with this LED screen. The one they sent me is the Timebox Evo 256 pixels, Bluetooth 5.0, so should be good as far as latency goes. A 6-watt driver base port. This thing should sound pretty good, although we will be testing that here momentarily. They've got an app which you can use to set different images on this thing. We'll be interested to see if I can get the Scary if Literal logo perhaps on there. We'll try that out. There's a Pokeball. That's pretty freaking cool. I mean, this thing's gonna look really neat sitting on your desk or something like that. All kinds of really cool stuff that can be done with this Bluetooth speaker. So you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, let's stop talking about the thing and let's just unbox it and see what it's like. All right, so here we are, Divoom Timebox Evo, audio play, smart alarm, event notification, pixel art creation, all kinds of cool stuff, DSP processor, 6-watt output. I mean, look, this thing actually looks pretty cool. I'm actually kind of stoked to see this thing. Now, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, they did send this to me for me to be able to test this thing out and show it to you guys. That being said, they will be receiving this video, seeing this video when you guys see it. This is not a paid advertisement for this thing. This is going to be my real assessment, my real opinion about this smart speaker. Take that for what it's worth. So let's take out the handy dandy knife, which we are not talking about today, and let's cut this sucker open here. Always be careful with your knife, ladies and gentlemen. This may be a kind of a small thing to notice, but I notice packaging, right? So like if a package feels kind of crappy, I automatically assume that the actual product is going to be kind of crappy, and this actually feels quite nice. Slide it out of the sleeve. Ooh, look at that. Is that embossed? That's embossed, ladies and gentlemen. Embossed packaging. Here's a good test too. Is there a vacuum created when you lift this thing off? Yes, there was. Another good sign. This is some really well done packaging. I know I'm kind of nerding out about a package, and that's weird, but when you unbox as many things as I do, you start to notice these things. I'm assuming that is the speaker there. In here, we must have some silica gel. Don't eat that. Don't eat the silica gel, ladies and gentlemen. Inside, we do have, it is USB-C. It's USB-C. I'm really excited about that. They're ticking all the boxes so far, guys. Might actually need the instructions on this one. This thing might actually be kind of, look at that. That's a proper book. That's a lot. I might come back to you later. I might need you. I don't know. This thing might be complicated. Now let's get down to the main course here, right? I've been dilly-dallying around for too long with the accessories. Let's get into the actual speaker. It feels substantial. It feels robust. Ooh. Okay. Peel this off the front here. It says, please peel off this mask with this sticker. Can do. That's a good peel. And you know what? That's glossy. That is a glossy screen there. I'm actually really surprised by that. Okay, so walking around the device, you've got a USB-C port down here at the bottom, which I'm super happy that it's USB-C. That's awesome. You have got up top here what maybe is a brightness. You've got volume. I'm not sure what that means. Up and down, the little arrow key. I'm not quite sure what that is either. We're going to find out. You got a power button over here. The whole thing has sort of a grippy, rubberized texture to it. Let's boot the thing up. So I'm going to press and hold that power button. Ooh. Ooh, how about that? What's going on there? Oh, man. Whoa, okay. Okay. This is definitely not going to come through in the video, but that looks, it almost has sort of a 3D effect going on that I can't quite put my finger on. That is quite strange to look at. I guess what we need to do now is I guess we need to pair it. We need to pair it to Bluetooth. So let's pull out the trusty Surface Duo and see what we've got here. Obviously, it's got the time there, which is wrong, but we'll get that corrected. Timebox Evo Lite, it is there to be paired. Okay, so we have now paired to this thing. Wow, the screen, I can't really even describe what that screen looks like, but it looks very weird. So these are obviously your volume buttons. So that button will change holiday. So this button here, the little sun, is changing like what's on there. Interesting. It is not 1239 though, so we need to fix that. Let's go see if I can find the Divoom app. Divoom. Okay, so here we go. There's that. Let's install that app. And while we're installing that app, I mean, is there a better use case for the Surface Duo than installing an app while you're doing something else? I don't think so. Let's go over to YouTube and pull up one of my videos and let's see what this guy sounds like. Let's go to my Surface Duo re-review. Takes are often stupid takes. These people out there playing that wanted to hate the title from the drop, talking about glitches and bugs on a device that they've never even put their hands on. Minor hiccups, bumps in the road that are going to get ironed out. So what we're going to do in this video... Okay, so maxed out volume, it is shockingly loud. Like, it was beginning to distort at max volume, but it was very, very loud. That is actually like... I'm actually kind of shocked how loud that actually was. So when you're using the app, what you're going to find here is an absolute... just a massive amount of different things that you can set to display on the speaker, and you can simply tap them and it'll show you what that will actually look like on the speaker in real time. But I think what's really interesting and what's really cool about it is if you go down here to where it says channel, you can have on the far side, it's all the way over where it says custom, you can set all these different custom tiles to whatever you want them to be. So let's say I want to replace the link. Let's see if I can find something better there. So I just touched on link down there and I'm going to search, and let's just search Zelda and see if maybe I can find a better Legend of Zelda thing here. That looks pretty cool, him with the little shield. So I'm going to touch on that, and now that's there. When I want to set this to be what's on the speaker, you hit make, and it will now begin the process of moving these images over to the speaker, and it will just start running through them in the order that you have them there. You can actually even edit these images. You can change them around and speed them up, slow them down. You can actually edit them. If you want, you can literally make your own designs. You know, if you're a crafty enough person and you know what you're doing there, you can just do that. Under the Discover tab, there's some really crazy things in here, like a noise meter. So let's start that, and it's now tracking the decibels of the sound I'm making. Hello! You can see it go up when I yell. That's pretty crazy. All kinds of things. There's a countdown meter, so you can start a timer rolling. That's pretty cool. If you can believe it, there are actually games on here. So there's Pixel Tetris that you can play, where you're using the buttons up top here to rotate your items and to move them around. And you can play Tetris. How cool is that? There's actually several different games. Here's a Magic 8-ball. So how about, will this video do really well? Let's hit go. See what the Magic 8-ball tells me. And it says, okay. You've got literally a version of, I think this was called Breakout back in the day, that you can play on this speaker. I mean, it's honestly, it's kind of insane how much is packed into this thing. Certain apps will even show notifications on here, so you can have this enabled so that if you get a Twitter notification, you'll get a Twitter icon will pop up on the screen. That's actually pretty cool as well. all in all, the amount of stuff that is in this app that is there for you to do is actually, it's kind of shocking. There is so much functionality here. There are people creating these images and uploading them for you to use. You can make your own. There's stuff, you look here at the top ones, and it's a bunch of Christmas stuff. You want to put some Christmas stuff on your speaker, have it on your desk, you can do that. All right, so I'm all the way across the room. I'm going to share what I think, what has changed about my opinion on the Duo, if anything, since that initial review. This thing will absolutely fill a room. I'm hesitant to play any actual music, but maybe I will very, very briefly. I'm going to set it right there, okay? And we're going to be very deliberate with how long this plays. Okay, so it is distorting a little bit at absolute max volume. That was about halfway, totally doable. Flip it around. You got Pac-Man over there just chomping away, hanging out on your desk. I think that's where it's going to live. Charges over USB Type-C. Let's jump back over here to the details. We are looking at $45.99 right now. It looks like this is a holiday deal, usually $92. And I mean, honestly, I can kind of see where they're getting that from. There's so much in that app. Like, I didn't expect it to be anything quite like that, but man, there is a ton of stuff you can do in that app. I really do think that as something to like decorate your workspace with as a Bluetooth speaker, something you can quickly play from, and like I said, have just sitting there looking quite cool behind you, customize a digital clock and all of these sorts of things. Like, it's complicated actually. If my biggest complaint would be that the app is actually quite complicated to use, and I'm gonna need some real time sitting down working with this thing to try and figure out exactly how to get the most out of it. I mean, they're showing some of these features that I've talked about here already. Visualizers for the music you're playing. There are people making these images and then uploading them onto the app. So there's an absolute ton. There's Leela. Spinning Leela from Futurama's head on there. This thing's actually pretty freaking cool. Battery life here, charge time, 3.5 hours, up to 6 hours of playback. I believe that. Now, one thing I did notice when I was playing a YouTube video back, there was a slight amount of loss of sync there. So the video was a little bit off from the video, but not wildly off. I would like to see with Bluetooth 5, I mean, it really should be synced up better than that, but it's really not bad. And if you're just listening to music, you're not going to have any problem there at all, obviously. There's just so much here. So it looks like if you press and hold the play button, is it recording me now? I'm not actually sure. Let's see. Is it recording? I don't know. Is it recording me now? I'm not actually sure. Let's see. Is it recording? I don't know. Okay. Interesting. If you press and hold whatever this, it looks like a clock button up top. You can set an alarm. Use it as an alarm clock. So it looks like each button has like a short press and a long press. So you can take phone calls on this thing. It does have a microphone on the side, so you could totally take a call on this thing. The increase and decrease volumes, if you hold them, are your skip forward and skip back on songs. It says change effects. Oh, look at that. That's cool. So I'm changing. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty cool. In terms of the actual audio quality, I mean, I mentioned that it's obviously very loud. It does distort at high volumes, but the bass is actually pretty present. I mean, for something this small, it actually sounds shockingly solid. I'm pretty pleased with how it sounds, actually. I could see this thing being used. It's the bass is there, the mids are okay, the highs are okay. For something this size, I really don't think you could ask for a whole lot better audio quality. So guys, I mean, that's my overview. You could call it a review if you want. I think I've gone fairly deep here with the Timebox Evo. If you want to check this thing out, I'm going to drop a link down in the description for you to be able to do that. Stay tuned for more coverage of cool tech just like that. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends. If you enjoy my content, please consider becoming a Scary If Literal member. You'll get access to a whole bunch of emoticons to use with live streams and a shout out on an upcoming video. Thanks as always for your continued support.